Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Q&A Thursdays with myself, Orla and Jacob. So this week we're going to be discussing whether big companies are becoming too powerful. So if you have any questions or comments during this session, please put them in the chat and let us know what you think about this topic, and we can just discuss it throughout the video. So before we start, as usual, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our socials to be the first to see our new content. So you might have already seen in the news about Facebook, Google, Apple and Amazon having to face the US Congress, and all four of the CEOs will testify alongside each other virtually. And this happened yesterday at noon ET time. So they've all been investigated for the past 13 months, and questions have been asked based on the 1.3 million documents collected. So obviously this is a really crucial time for them, as depending on how they stand up to scrutiny, this could really make a huge difference for their relationship with the US government and even like the consumers too. So one of the main questions, which has been a main part of the interrogation, is, are these tech giants too big? So these four companies together are all worth $5 trillion, and people are now saying that they're too big to fail, especially post-lockdown. And one tech leader, Mark Zuckerberg, who's the CEO of Facebook, is arguing that companies aren't bad just because they're big, which is what some people think. And Zuckerberg claims he created and built Facebook the American way by starting with nothing. So he said that's like back himself up. So let us know what you think about this. Did you watch the video? Have you seen the news articles about this? And let us know what you think. And if you've got any questions, comment them in the comment box and we'll be more than happy to answer them. So first of all, the first question is, how do these companies use their power unfairly? So it's often said that even though these companies run service, they also own the internet's utilities. So this leads on to them, therefore, like abusing their power and dominance within the online market. And an example of this is at Amazon, they promote their own products more than others on their marketplace. And this obviously shows a very strong bias. And secondly, Apple, they charge a 30% cut on money made from apps. So they take a commission from the App Store. And as well, Google, they've been subject to accusation for burying competitor searches and have actually been fined for this in the past. So part of this argument is that these companies hurt consumers in an indirect way by killing off smaller companies. However, like the main point of these companies facing scrutiny is that a company should not have so much power and commanding position within a fundamental part of the internet. So what do you think about this? Do you agree that there shouldn't be just like one company or a very few companies that have so much power? What do you think about this, Jacob?
Well, personally, I think that one company shouldn't have as much power as Amazon and Facebook do. I think that one company having so much power does limit the competition. When the two big competitors can't compete with them, and it limits growth within the market, and it can also limit innovation within the market as well. Because they're not trying to outcompete or make their site better than others, because they're the biggest, obviously.
Yeah.
But on Amazon using their power unjustly, it's been in the news recently that they're trying to take on supermarkets, and obviously during this coronavirus pandemic, the retailing industry's really suffered, especially supermarkets and other grocers. So since the beginning, there's been a high demand for like online shopping, stuff like that, getting food delivered to the houses. Obviously, Amazon being an online retailer, they now want part of this market. So they're trying to capitalize on their delivery service. They already offer a free delivery service to quite a few people in London. And this is a next day delivery service, but they're trying to put this throughout the whole UK, to be one step ahead of Tesco and Asda, stuff like that. So this initiative to use their delivery service to do a free next day or even the same day delivery service in some areas is their way of trying to get into the fast growing market. But there has been quite a few issues with this. People are saying other online shopping retailers like Ocado, they might suffer. Obviously, Amazon having a massive stock and having the ability to provide these next day deliveries and these same day deliveries in some cases, it's a very big USP, and not a lot of different businesses can compete with that. But one thing that Amazon will struggle with if they do try and enter this market, which they will try and enter this market, but they don't have the brand awareness as being a food shopping brand. People see Amazon as different goods, electronic stuff like that. They don't see Amazon as being a food delivery service. So this will take quite a lot of investment and a lot of time to really build up this awareness. But everyone watching, do you think if Amazon do introduce this next day delivery service for fresh food, stuff like that, do you think you would start to use it, or would you stick to Tesco, Asda, whatever? Orla, what do you think? Do you think you would make the switch if they did introduce these next day deliveries?
Well, if I'm honest, I didn't actually even know about this before we were looking into it.
Yeah.
And I personally don't get my shopping delivered. But if I was going to, I don't know if I would use Amazon. I think it's because of the whole, like you said, they've obviously got brand awareness for, like Amazon Prime and like your everyday bits like non-food items, like toiletries and electronics that you can get on Amazon. And I feel like a lot of people just see it as that. And then obviously I think it's a great thing that they're doing, introducing something new, because it gives people another option to get the shopping from. So I think they'll have to really push it if they are going to, if they're going to want the sales, which obviously they're going to want to do anyway. But personally, I don't know. Maybe if I looked into it and it seemed really appealing, and because as well, there is a bit of a thing with Amazon being a bit over expensive sometimes. So if it's more expensive compared to Tesco, then I'm not too sure what I'd do about that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'd say I don't personally see Amazon as a food retailer, but yeah. But this whole hearing that happened yesterday, the main question was, are these companies getting too big? And really, they're asking, do we need these large corporations? Everyone watching, do you think the world needs these large corporations? Yesterday, Google, Apple, and Facebook all defended claims that they use their power to squash their competition. Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon, he said that the world does need these larger firms, whereas the heads of Apple, Google, and Facebook all said that they spur innovation. Obviously, this hearing took place in Washington, in America, and Democrats were questioning these tech leaders about the competition issues and how it does limit other companies and they can't compete. And Republicans were pressing these companies about managing information and managing the data, which I think that's a really big topic as well. Are these companies trustworthy with managing your data and everything? But all leaders insisted that nothing was done illegally. They built their companies the American way, starting with nothing. However, during this trial, lawmakers did come in and they did present evidence that they had used their power to like damage other companies in harmful ways. All these documents that they collected over a year, they were presented, and it did give some evidence. Personally, I think that this trial should have been held much earlier. I don't think these companies should have been in the position that they are. I don't think they should be this big. Everyone watching, what do you think? Put in the comments. Do you think this trial should have been held earlier? Do you think they should have been able to grow this big? Just let us know. But Orla, do you think we should trust these big tech firms?
Well, I think one of the main issues with, for example, Apple, is that they were apparently like favouring certain apps over others.
Yeah.
And Congress said that commission is usually 30%. However, Amazon Prime's commission is actually reduced, which shows like that they're favouring Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And CEO Tim Cook said that this reduction is actually available to anyone who meets the conditions. So it wasn't actually just for Amazon. He also said that 84% of apps are charged nothing, and it's just the other 16% which pay either 15% or 30% commission depending on the specifics. So I'm assuming that Amazon Prime pay 15% rather than 30%.
Yeah.
And for example, when they pay that commission, after the second year of the subscription is when it reduces to 15%. So I feel like there's probably been quite a bit of misunderstandings with like some of the things that have been found. But obviously, if evidence, I haven't seen all these documents, obviously, but if the evidence is there, you know, the Congress have reason to question it and to find out more about it. But from listening and watching the video of that part, that does seem like there is a bit of a misunderstanding. And so let us know what you think about that. Do you think it's fair that commission is subject to change? And do you think, obviously it would help if we knew a bit more about the specifics, which like depends, the specifics depend on whether the commission reduces. So it would help if we knew more information about that, but we didn't disclose all of that. And secondly, when they were questioning Facebook, the issue which happened a while ago now with Donald Trump Jr., he shared a video promoting dangerous coronavirus information. And this video included the promotion of a certain drug and that masks don't help with like slowing down the spread of the virus. And this video then caused his Twitter and Facebook accounts to be suspended. And a congressman said, in the eyes of Congress, everybody should be able to speak their mind. However, Mark Zuckerberg said that they ban things such as hate speech. And with this, when people are saying something which could then like cause harm, and in this case, it was thought that what was being shared was like, it was appropriate to take this down as it was misleading information, and somebody could see that and they might not have done the research about it, and they could think, oh, you know what, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try and take this drug and it might, you know, stop me from getting the coronavirus, when actually it's really dangerous. And so again, with that, I feel like there was a bit of a misunderstanding, and Congress didn't really seem to agree with what Mark Zuckerberg was saying with the reason why he suspended, why Facebook suspended Donald Trump Jr.'s account. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Zuckerberg is right? Let us know in the comments. Jacob, what do you think about that?
I think it is a big misunderstanding. I think there is like a fine line between, you know, what is harmful and what's not. And I think it comes down to opinions at the end of the day. You know, Facebook's team must have thought, yeah, that is misleading. That could cause harm. But you're always going to have people arguing against, and believe in something else. So I think it is just a misunderstanding, and personally, I think he did the right thing, taking this kind of stuff down. But I just say you're always going to have people arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never going to get two people always agreeing on anything.
No.
So that's all for this week's Q&A. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and share this video. And this video will also be live on our YouTube channel later today. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.